Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. Channel name is Alba Stitcher. This is my channel about cross stitch, where I show you what I've been working on, any finishes that I have, anything that I've purchased, and go through some plans. So this is Flosstube 24, I think. So welcome. If you are new here, then I hope you enjoy what you see. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. That's greatly appreciated. And if you are returning, then thanks very much for putting up with me and my ramblings. And I had some wonderful comments left on last time's video. It's been about 2.5 weeks since I filmed. So that was really nice. A lot of people congratulating me on my 1 year Flosstube anniversary, which was good. Some of the comments were lovely, and yeah, I'll certainly keep making them at the moment. You may notice that I've my hair's a bit blonder. I think finally I might have the colour that I like. I think if you remember back in April, I decided to that was when the hairdressers reopened here. I decided to have a bit of a chop, got my hair cut and coloured, and it's probably been quite slowly getting lighter. And to be honest, it's got a lot to do with the amount of grey I've got. So I think finally maybe I have the colour that I really like. It's a bit windswept and interesting today. It's not been bad here on the west coast. It was quite bright earlier. Now it's dark. Yeah, now it's dark. So yeah. Anyway, that's where we are. I do have a little drink with me today. You know the saying, when life throws you lemons, that you should make lemonade. Well, I want to do one better for you, everybody. When life throws you lemons, go for the pink gin. That's the way forward, everyone. Pink gin is the way. So let me have a little slip and we can get started. That's lovely. So what I've got for you today is I have some finishes. I have quite a new start. And then I have some whips that I've worked on. I've also got some haul, and I have the winner of the giveaway from last time. So let me start with finishes. As you know, at the start of the year, I had decided I wanted to work on the Blackbird design stockings, and they do these little monthly stocking booklets like this. And I had decided that I wanted to do one every month. So at the end of the year, like, I had the full 12. Now, each booklet contains 3 stockings. I've had some questions about it. So each booklet is 3 stockings. I only chose to do 1. I may decide to go back and do some more because I really did thoroughly enjoy doing them. But I am happy to say I am now at number 11. I have only 1 more to do, and then I have done my whole year's goal or aim. So this one that I was working on is from the August booklet, and it's this one here on the back. If you can just see it, it's Thistles. I think it's entitled Roadside Thistles. And here is my take on it. That's the back. And here it is here. So this is stitched using the called for threads. On a 30 count, I think it's Access Commodities, Parisian Grey. And yeah, it stitched up delight. I loved it. Here is the threads. So all the called for threads, which I can tell you are Weeping Willow, Pixie Dust and Purple Aster, all from Classic Colorworks. I don't know what recommended linen they have, but that is my finish now on Roadside Thistles, which is in the August booklet from Blackbird Design. I enjoyed doing that one. It was good. I do have a mistake in it. I didn't unpick it. It's 1 stitch extra, but I just left it because it's my uniqueness. Because I'm unique anyway. Anyway, so after that one was finished, I thought, right, let's keep this truck moving. And I decided to do the September one. And I chose to do the one on the very front of the booklet, which I think is called Sampler House. And again, I used all the called for threads. This linen is, I think, becoming one of my favourites, to be honest. And it's probably because there is no mottling in it, and I really like it. So this is my Sampler House stocking with the called for threads. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all the called for threads. Here they are. Again, I think they're all classic Colorworks. And this linen is 30 count Mariner's Map from Access Commodities. And you can do a little personalisation. So I just put my initials and the year I was born. Yeah, the year I was born. So yeah, the colours that this use is Forest Glade, Mulberry, Nutmeg, Chives, Wood Trail and Grecian Gold. But to be fair, these stockings are small enough that you could use kind of similar tonal threads to finish them off. Okay, so that was my second finish, which I really enjoyed. And then I worked on some of my whips. So let us talk about this one, because this one I did not work anywhere near as much as I hoped to work on it. I will need to just tidy up the threads a little bit, because this is a bit of a mess for you to have to look at. Because often I just stop stitching and just leave it in a bit of a kerfuffle. So here you go. And you might remember that this was my January start for 2021. What a year, 2021. And it's the Satsuma Street Who's There. Now, the thing is, I love this and I really want it finished before we hit 2022. So I got great guns on it, and then yeah, I thought, oh, I want to work on this. Oh, and I want to work a little bit on that. So then I put it back down. But I am going to pick it up again. Just my needle. And that's basically what I've done. I'll move this needle minder so that you can see. So this is basically what I've got done. So I'm making good progress on it, and it is a really enjoyable stitch. This is 32 count fabric from xJuDesign. I've used all the called for DMC on it, and as you can see, I still have quite a bit to do, but not like insurmountable. I have like two and a half of the owls and just the tree, really. It's not like lots and lots. I mean, that was quite heavy going, all those clouds. But yeah, I think I could do it if I just keep picking it up and not be distracted by all the other wonderful projects that I have on the go. So yeah, that's Who's There by Satsuma Street. And I've worked a little bit on that one. Let me just put this away. I have such a mess when I'm doing Flosstube, really. I have like projects everywhere, and Now it's time for more Pink June. I mean, it doesn't have to be pink. I'm quite happy with any kind of June, but Pink June at the moment is my favourite. So, excuse me smacking my lips. My next project that I worked on, again, is one I hope to have finished, but I haven't. But you'll see how, well, you can see I did some stockings, and I have a new star, and yeah, it's only been 2.5 weeks. Was this one by the Woolly You, which is called Midnight Dreamer. And I started this hoping to have it finished for Halloween, October, because it says October 31st on it. And that didn't happen. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll have it finished for my next Flosstube. Well, you're about to see, I didn't meet that deadline either. But again, let me just, I'll maybe just push this through so you don't have to see the extra thread. Okay. So before anybody says anything, I know there's a half stitch not done, because I've just, let's hope I remember when I pick the project back up. So this is stitched on 32 count Murky. And I've not really followed the called for threads. I didn't have all the called for threads, but I have quite a large thread stash. I have a lot. I have a lot of stash. It's as simple as that. So I decided to look for something kind of similar. So acknowledging what the designer wanted, but maybe not exactly. So I kind of switched the colours up a little bit. My moon, and obviously the edge in here on the penny border, is Harvest Moon, and that was the same kind of orange, yellowy gold that I used in my, the Blackbird design one with the owl. I can't remember the name of the chart. But that was Harvest Moon that I used in that, and I just really, really liked it. So I thought I would use it again. And like my purple is Iris, and I used Chrissy's Bomb Bomb for the branch. So it isn't exactly what the designer called for, but it works. I made quite a bit of progress on it, and I'm hoping the next time I see you, I'll finish off the border and the moon, and that's it done. So yeah, that's Midnight Dreamer by the Woolly Hue. But I did want to show you a comparison because I bought a large piece of Murky. And if anybody watches Michelle, Mama Loves UGB, she had also bought a piece of Murky, a large piece, and she had been saying, well, it's a little bit, not really what it would normally look like. So this is a piece of Murky, and I'll just pause it for a second so that I can grab this piece of fabric because I never showed you it last time. But you will see there's a distinct difference. So just to let you know that the Murky that's out at the moment is a little bit different. So just let me pause a second. Hi. So, my God, that sounded so lame. Hi. But here, so this is my piece of Murky. And it is labelled as Murky. There is no kind of confusion there. I got it from 123 Stitch. I waited long enough. It is a big, massive, large piece. I am not happy with it, if that makes sense. But I do need to show you the difference between this piece, which is the new piece, and this, which is the older piece. I'll just take the grime guard off so you can see a little bit more. I need to watch, I have a needle in it. So you can see a little bit more of my fabric, but you will see there is a difference. There's no way around it, there is a difference. So let me take the... I hope you can see the difference. There you go. So this is, I say old Murky, it's not old. I bought it this year at some point. And this is the new piece that I've had delivered in the last month or so. So it is not exactly the same. You can see there's similar tones there, but it is not exactly. So my question is, do I just keep this because it's kind of like more like a camouflage colour? Or do I try and over dye it? Which, yeah, I probably don't want to over dye it, but it's not the same. I wondered if anybody else had noticed that. I know, as I say, Michelle had mentioned it in her video, but there is this distinct difference between these. So yeah, I wanted to show you that comparison with the fabric. So, as I was saying, this is Midnight Dreamer. I hope to have it finished soon. And again, I'm all kind of in a kerfuffle. That's kind of how I roll. What else have I worked on in the last 2 weeks? Well, I did a tiny bit of stitching on my Carolyn Manning, and this is the Carolyn Manning that I had chosen to work on, and it's called Thistle. It's a lovely design. It's a really relaxing stitch, and I know somebody else made a comment to me about it, that they also were stitching on a Carolyn Manning and they found it really relaxing. So this is my progress. I haven't really added that much. I only really added some here, I think. I maybe did some fill in here, but basically that was it. I'm not sure how much more I'll get working on this at the moment. I am easily distracted by other projects, but it is actually quite a nice project for just picking up. Mine is stitched on 16 count Rustico Ada, and I've used all the called for DMC threads. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable stitch. And this little cat needle minder is by Maloka Designs. I'll link that below. So yeah, I worked on just a little bit on this one. I've actually had quite a busy 2 weeks. Since I last seen you, I, because of my age, I went for my first mammogram, which I won't say it's unpleasant, but you could think of better ways of spending a couple of hours on a Friday morning. I've also been back at the orthopaedic surgeon, well, the consultant, about my ankle. I now no longer walk with the orthopaedic boot, which is actually good. I think the more I walk without any kind of assistance, the better. There was some discussion in my leg. I have a plate which has 7 pins, and then there are 2 screws kind of along the front of my ankle just before you get to your foot. There was some discussion about these screws being taken out. Apparently, each surgeon is different, and there is no consensus among surgeons about whether this metal work should stay in or be taken out. There was no discussion of the plate and the pins coming out. It was all about these screws. As I say, I have 2 pretty big, I mean, it's hard to tell when you read an x-ray because I'm looking at it on an x-ray, but quite large screws, and they're discussing whether they should come out or not. I go back in 3 months. I go back in February, and there's 2 things. They'll make a decision about the screws, and I have already said to them I don't want them going back in. There is no need to go back in. For me now, it's about building up the strength back in that leg, getting my full use of it again. I really don't want 2022 to be the same. So I've said personally I don't want them going back in to take the screws out. Apparently, the reason these screws would be taken out is if they break, then the damage going in to retrieve the broken piece is a big task. So for some surgeons, they always say take out that metalwork needs to come out, but it's not clear exactly what the surgeon, and I can't even remember his name now, but the surgeon who worked on me, what his preference was. So they just need to clarify that. The consultant did tell me that they had a kind of semi-professional footballer in the clinic the week before, and he was getting his screws out because the nature of his work would mean that these screws are likely to break. Now, I am not a footballer. To be honest, my limit is yoga, so I don't think my screws are going to be damaged by doing yoga, so I'm quite happy for them to stay in. So that's what will happen. I'll go back in 3 months in February. They'll have a little look to make sure that the bone filling is where it should be, because they don't think it is. Seems quite vulnerable. And I keep going to the physio, and I've been back at the physio this week as well, and I go again in a few weeks' time. So it's been quite busy with that kind of stuff, and plus I'm back at work and it's busy with that. Yeah. I'm not going to travel to the Netherlands this side of Christmas. I'll probably go in the new year. So yeah, I think maybe back to stitching, or maybe a pause for some pink gin again. Yeah. So that was a bit of a tangent there. Me trying to justify that I've not worked on my projects as much as I'd hoped. But I did have a new start. Now, this new start comes from me having so much stash. I can't tell you how much stash I have. I have charts, and I have fabric, and I have threads, and you know, even if I didn't work, I still don't think I would get through everything, considering the rate that I buy. So I have quite a healthy, is that a nice way of putting it? I have quite a healthy stash of Mirabilia and Nora Corbett designs. And I thought, you know, I should really try and make a start on them. I have one mermaid, and I can't even remember which one it is. I started it while I lived in the Netherlands. I have one mermaid started, did not finish it, and I don't even think I got that far on it. And I have quite a lot either kitted or partly kitted up. So I decided, well, let's start with one. Once you finish one, maybe that'll motivate you to carry on with more. So I chose this one, which is not too big. It's a Nora Corbett, so it is slightly smaller, or it's a lot smaller than a Mirabilia. And this one is called Glittering Leaves. You can have a look there. It's stitched. I've seen it a few times since I've started it. I've been kind of looking for people's choices of fabric and things like that. So this is the one I decided to start. Now, it's got some Karen water lilies in it, and DMC obviously, and Krynic. Although I switched out the Krynic, I think, or it might have been one of my other ones. So here is my start on Nora Corbett's glitter. Well, I move this thread so you don't have to see it. I'm about to forget that I've got all these kind of half stitches around. I actually have this in the project bag that was gifted to me, which is lovely. And I'm actually using the grime guard that was gifted to me as well, which was fabulous. So here is my start. And if I just, what did I do with the chart? See, if you see the chart here, I have her leg. This part is her leg. And then I'm moving up to do her kind of torso. So that's where I'm at. Now, if you look, these stitches here, these ones here, and then over here on this side, this one's here. These are all the Karen water lilies. And you know, when I started the chart, when I bought the chart, it was because I really like orange, those kind of autumnal colours. I really like them. Then I got the threads, and the DMC for sure are very autumnal shades. I'll show you them, but the Karen water lilies are not. So I was like, oh, this is stitching up. Not quite how I thought, but I love it. I really, really do love it, and I love stitching with the Karen water lilies. I said to my mum, I'm a little bit worried. I'm enjoying this silk too much. It may lead me down a horrible rabbit hole of buying silk. So yeah, that's my start. This fabric is the fabric of the month from Jodyri Designs that I received, I think, from September, and it was called Sportsfield. It's a 32 count, and it's got a kind of green hue to it. Yeah, it's not really natural. It's more like got a green tinge, and I really, really like it. I think it complements the colours and the design a lot. Now, the Karen water lilies, let me show you them. I got a little box that I kind of organised for these. And as I say, I haven't stitched lots of Nora Corbett and Mirabilia, so this was like a new adventure for me. But here are these silks, and let me see, maybe I need my board. These colours are, I mean, you would not think they're autumnal colours. You know, that's pretty accurate. This one is almost like an ice cream lollipop, you know. And this one's obviously the richer tones. But those are the Karen water lilies, and they're fabulous. Fabulous to stitch with. I love the effect on the design, and I must admit this is the one that's probably tempted me away from my other charts, because I wanted to make some progress on it, but it's lovely. I really enjoy it, and so much so that I have kitted up another couple. I think I had the charts, but I didn't have the threads, or I didn't have the fabric, whichever it was. So I made sure I got two more kitted up, because this is not a lot of stitching. It's not been a lot of time, but I really enjoy the progress on it. Now, if you want to see the DMCs, you will see And no Krynic. I've obviously got confused. There's no Krynic. But these are the DMCs. So, well, you know, when I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, I can see how, you know, it's kind of autumnal. It's not very good to show you, but you know, there's kind of oranges there, there's browns, a few yellows, then they've got the kind of neutral skin tones, that kind of thing. But together, I think it's pretty awesome. So yeah, really enjoyed working on that. So yeah, that was really all my stitching in the last 2.5 weeks or so, I would say. That's really what I've stitched on. And if anyone has already stitched this glittering leaves, I would be interested to see how you got on with it, or if you enjoyed it, because yeah, it's kind of like opened a new world to me. And it's not that I wasn't aware of Nora Corbett and Mirabilias, but they just always seem so big, large, and I thought, I don't really have time for all them. But you know, when you make the effort, it's amazing what you get back in return. So yeah, that's all my stitching for the last 2 weeks. But I do actually have some haul. I want to announce my giveaway winner, and I also wanted to show you a couple of other Nora Corbetts that I'm planning on starting. So I think I'll start with them because we're kind of talking about Nora Corbetts. So I dug around and I decided that I wanted to do this one. And this one is called the Moss Collector. And I purchased the bead pack. I am sure I got the bead pack from Arts and Designs here in Scotland. And I also, this is the fabric I've chosen, and it was much debate about what type of fabric I wanted to get, but this is a 32 count even weave, and it's a fabric flare fabric. Now, the reason I chose a fabric flare fabric was because of another Flosstuber. There is a new Flosstuber called YasminsMadeWithLove. You may already follow her on Instagram. She is a prolific stitcher. She does fabulous work. She's a big Barbara Anna design fan. So if you like Barbara Anna, you should certainly go along and check out her Flosstube. But she had kept mentioning this fabric flare fabric that she was using, and I thought maybe I should search that out and see what they had. And yeah, I have chosen 2 pieces for the next 2 Nora Corbetts. So this is Mottled Sage. Is it Mottled Sage? Yeah, Mottled Sage. And the colour is, yeah, it's probably like that. And here are the threads. It has another Karen Water Lily in it, which is great. And it's this one here. And it's called, I think this one's called, is it Java? Yeah, Java. It has some petite treasure braids in it. And then we have the DMCs. And I don't, maybe I take them off the ring so that you can see them. You know, I'm guaranteed now to lose some of these, but I think that's the only way you'll really see how they all look together. I did consult with my expert, who is my mother, about the fabric before I committed, and there could well be a chance that I would still change it once I stitch it if the greens don't show up, because I didn't really want it tonal, but it may turn out to be tonal with all these greens. So I don't know if I can show you this, but I will do my best. So here you go. So that would be like the colour palette. You knew it was going to happen. That's going to be the colour palette. And I think actually all the greens will show up okay. I don't think I've got a problem. And I am still waiting for one. Yeah, for one petite treasure braid that I couldn't get a hold of here in the UK. It's coming from the US. I can't remember the colour. Is it kiwi maybe? I don't think this one is kiwi. I think I might be looking for kiwi. Anyway, I've ordered it, so it should be coming. So that's one of them. It's called the Moss Collector. Wait, like, just retrieve this one. I won't put them back on the ring, I'll just put them into the bag. Yeah. Okay. And the other one that I've decided I want to start is this one here. And this is Peony. You can hear is this one here. And again, I got the bead in the treasure pack. Again, I'm sure I got it from Arts and Designs in the UK. And again, I chose a piece of fabric flare fabric. And yeah, I'll just do the same that I've just done so you can see them all fall off. But this is called, it's again a 32 count, Springtime. So this is the fabric that I think this one might look quite nice on. Yeah, it's a very mottled kind of green. It's not as washed out as that. I don't know if bringing it closer or further away helps. But it's kind of like a green with blue and yellow in it. Again, I consulted with the Oracle, which is my mother. And here are the threads. And this one I converted, and I don't often convert anything, to be fair, unless I'm feeling 100% okay about it. I don't often. I normally go with the designer's choices. But this one I decided to convert because it was Krynic, and in all my experience of working with Krynic has not been very successful. So I decided I would match up some petite treasure braid, which I did. So in the chart it asks for Krynic, but I switched it out for petite treasure braid. And here are my very messy threads for some reason, which I will show you. And here they are. These are all kind of bumpled up. So I didn't change any of the DMC, all the DMC, the Krynic, and it's going to be on this fabric, which is called Springtime. Okay, so if anybody was unsure, it's for this design. Yeah, and again, if you've already stitched this, I would be interested, you know, to know how you got on with it, how you found it. I've got a feeling this could be the next one that I start once I finish glittering leaves. It could well be this one. It's not that I don't like Moss Collector, but I'm thinking I might start this one, Peony. So yeah, so that was a little bit of haul without really being haul, because I think the charts already. And now I do have my proper haul of what I've purchased in the last 2 weeks. So I have my thread club that I get from Lakeside Needlecraft, which is the classic Colorworks thread club. I have done this before with Lakeside for the week's dye works, which over so many months gives you the full set of weeks. And then they had a space, I think, in their classic Colorworks, and I decided to take advantage and get them. So the threads that came this time are these here. I'm just arranging them so that you can see them. And I know everybody sees, you see threads all the time, so I'm not going to go through them all and name them all, but just so that you can kind of see what I got. So that was what I got this month. Yep, all really nice, which was good. I also purchased some fabric this month as well, which I really shouldn't, but I did. The first piece is my piece from the Jodyri Designs Fabric of the Month Club, and this is the piece that I got this month. And I took the neutral option. You can take a bright option. That's looking a little bit washed out. It's probably a little bit more peachier than that. Peachy? More peachy maybe? Yeah, and that one is called Spooky Mansion. So that was October 2021. Now I've changed. I was on Murano. That was my chosen fabric. But I've now switched to Belfast, and there's a little bit of a delay in getting the Belfast. So I don't expect to have fabric of the month probably now until next year. So I will keep in the club. I'll still pay for my fabric every month. And then hopefully in January, I'll get a lovely package with all the November, December and January fabrics. So yeah, so my fabric of the month came and my threads. And then I also put an order in with xJuDesign. I've got a feeling I may have ordered these a while ago, but I noticed she did a little bit of a shop update, and there was one fabric in particular, which is this one, that I wanted. And when I'm ordering from, most of the time when I'm ordering from anywhere, I wouldn't just order one thing, unless there really was nothing else that I wanted. And this is Marbled Pointer. It's showing up maybe a little bit more greeny than it actually is. It's not maybe as greeny as that. But I've heard this mentioned by a few Flosstubers, and I thought, I really want to try a piece of that. So I love xJuDesign fabric, so I got a piece. So this is Marbled Pointer, and I also got a piece, and I think it's Sampler Khaki. Is it Sampler Khaki? Yeah, Sampler Khaki was the other piece that I ordered. And this is it. I think this is actually quite fabulous. And if you were only doing a smaller, you could certainly, really focus on some of that, and it would be ideal even for a Halloween piece. So yeah, that was the two fabrics I got from xJuDesign. I really don't need any more fabrics. I think now that I'm in a fabric of the month club, I shouldn't really go looking elsewhere. But yeah, so these two. That's Sampler Khaki, that's Marbled Pointer. They both have distinct marbling on them, so that might suit some people, it may not suit other people. And what you always get from xJuDesign is you always get maybe a little silk thread, or sometimes you get a free chart, but often you get little pieces of fabric. Now they are really tiny. I mean, they are really tiny for a small design, but what I like about them is that it gives you an idea of a piece of fabric that maybe you're thinking about buying, and it's like a little sample. So now I'm thinking, oh, I need a blue. Oh, I got that little sample. Here's turquoise. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, light turquoise. So for me, these are really handy. So you always get something in your order. And her fabrics are always great. So I always love them. Yeah, I'm not going to bother putting it in the bag. What's the point? Anyway, so that was the fabrics. And then I also bought a couple of charts. I think these are pretty well known charts. I don't think there's anything unusual here. So this is by the Artful Offerings, called Bluebird Garden. Really like this. Like to stitch a bird. And then I picked this one up, and actually this is from October House Fibre Arts, and this is called the Shepherd Sampler, but there's actually quite a few of their charts at the moment I have my eye on. I haven't bought them yet. You notice I say yes yet, so don't be surprised when we come back in a couple of weeks. Oh yes, these accidentally fell in my chart, in my cart, and they're now here in front of me. But yeah, I really like that one. And I know I didn't do Black Sampler November, and I kind of regret it, but this may well have been one that I would have done for it. So yeah, that's the sampler, Shepherd Sampler. And then I picked something up off eBay, because you know I'm a bit of an eBayer at times, and I had been looking for maybe older Mirabilia charts, or just something a bit different, to see if I could see what I could get. And I had seen this stitched by someone, and this is called Santa's Magic. I don't know if yeah, well, I've seen it on social media quite a lot, and I thought, oh, quite like that. Maybe, is it too fussy for me? Maybe it's too fussy for me. It's not really my normal aesthetic, but you know, when you see things stitched and they catch your eye, there's a reason for it. So when this caught my eye, I thought maybe I should start looking for it. And I put a search in for eBay, and a couple came up, and they were like, yeah, selling a kidney to get them. So I thought, I'm not doing that. And then someone had a kind of make an offer price. So I thought, okay, let's make an offer. And my offer wasn't so cheeky. It wasn't, I could have been cheekier, but I wasn't. And they came back with a counter offer, which was really acceptable to me. And then I got this. So this is Santa's Magic. It's from 1995. But you know, the Krynic in it. Wait till I show you this. Don't know if you can look at the Krynic. So I'll be sitting trying to work out Petite Treasure Made for Krynic. But yeah, it's not really on my radar to start anytime soon. I'm kind of glad I got it. My friend Dawn was like, you've done well there. It's a score. So yeah, quite happy with that one. 1995. I remember 1995. 1995 was a very good year. I think that was the year I got married the first time. I think it was. Anyway, I think that is all that I have. And now my giveaway. So, as you know, on my last video was the 1 year anniversary of me starting to make these videos, and you lovely people coming along and joining me, which has been great. And I had a bit of a giveaway. My giveaway was a kind of Christmas giveaway. We had the Book of Days for 2022. Managed to get a copy of that for everyone. Well, not for everyone, but I managed to get a copy to give away. I then had a little Christmas chart. I also kitted up the chart. I had a little Santa needle minder. I had the button for the chart. I also put in some needles, the floss for the chart, and that was my giveaway. I did a random YouTube comment picker just there before I came to record, and the winner is Mandy McDade. So congratulations, Mandy. I will be happy to send you all this. I will leave a comment on your comment. If you can either send me an email or a message over Instagram, that would be great, with your postal address, and I'll try and get this posted out within the next week or so. Okay, so well done, Mandy McDade. I did have one other piece of haul. I'm not sharing it now, but it was just to let you know that I took a subscription box for a company called Innocent Bones. If you remember, during my summer months of when I was in cast, and I would spend my hours just drilling over the internet and Instagram and all social medias, and I came across this company called Innocent Bones, and I bought a t-shirt, I bought some kits. She had a subscription box, and I thought I was going to try it. Never done a subscription box, so that came this week. I will do an unboxing, and I'll record it separately over the next week at some point. And I also, at the beginning of the year, so way back in, I think it was February, I joined, or I placed the list, or I joined the list for the Advent box by Chromatic Alchemy. They've been shipped. Mine hasn't arrived yet, but it will probably come Monday or Tuesday, I would imagine. And I'm going to do some sort of unboxing. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do. I doubt I'll do one every day. I have total respect for the Flosstubers who do that, but I just don't think that'll work for me. So I may do on Instagram and the stories every day, and then I might do a kind of little video of unboxing for all the 24 whatever's in the Advent box. I don't know what's in there. I just know there are 12 pieces of fabric and there are 12 other kind of stitchy gifts. So that should come this week, and I'll maybe try and think about what I'm going to do for December for that one. But I think that's it. It's a little bit longer for me than usual, and I didn't think I had too much to share, but clearly I did. I would like to say I hope you all have a good weekend. drink your pink gin or whatever it is you like to drink. And I shall see you all in a couple of weeks. So take care and happy stitching. Bye.